Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. We got a little bit of this and that and the other going on. And of course, I'm still working my way through all this wonderful milk. So, I've got to make some butter this morning. I've got most of my housework done and done milk this morning and different things. And the kids are helping their grandpa right now. He called, needed some help this morning, so they're off helping him. Ain't that wonderful? That makes them feel so special when he calls and asks for help now that they've gotten old enough to actually be of help. But anyways, so I've got to make some more butter. Like you heard me say before, I try to make butter. I will make butter till I'm blue in the face while I'm getting all this milk. You know, you got to get while the getting's good, just like when I'm making lard with the pigs. Y'all, I make so much lard that I get just plumb tired of making lard. That's the only way I know how to put it. I just get plumb tired of it. But it's necessary because then I have lard to do whatever I want to do for the rest of the year till it's time to make it again. The milk is no different. So I've got to scrape this cream and I'll let it sit here for a little bit. And I'm also going to make some ice cream today. One thing again about fresh milk is you just can't beat the ice cream. Now I make ice cream when I'm not getting fresh milk. I'll make it with heavy cream and milk from the store. It's still good, but man, I don't know what this fresh milk does to the ice cream, but you just can't beat it. You can't beat it. So I'm gonna show y'all. It's been a while since I showed making my homemade ice cream on video, so I'm gonna make some of that when I get all this scraped. So if you don't know, fresh milk, the cream rises. The camera usually does not pick it up well, but the cream rises to the top. It separates itself, and I just go through and scoop it off. Me and Andy always laugh, and I say Candy is a butter cow. See that thick cream there? So that's our heavy cream. You know, if you were buying that from the store, that would be considered heavy cream. Now with goat's milk, it's naturally homogenized, so it won't rise up like that. Well, if you want to make butter, you have to have a cream separator. I guess, I mean, from what I've read. Because I know that it does not come to the top like that. And now if I want to mix this cream back in to have whole milk to drink, I just shake the jar real good, and most of the time, for the most part, it'll mix back in. Now when I'm doing this here, yes, it's a little bit tedious, I guess. I mean, not really. It doesn't take me long. But I always get lots of suggestions on better ways to do it. And I'll just be honest with y'all. I don't mind one bit standing here with my ladle, scraping it off the top. It's kind of relaxing, maybe. I guess that's the word. To see the cream pull off the top, especially those first couple scoops. But I see no reason for me personally to invest in a cream separator when God separates it for me. I don't see a need for one. I live in a very small house and have very limited room and storage to put all the things like that. So for me personally, I don't see a need for it, and I've had other people suggest, and I have actually tried this one, to get one of those like punch dispensers or something. Got the spigot at the bottom of it, and it's a big jug with the thing at the bottom. So I've actually tried that, because in theory, you pour it in there and you use the spigot after it all rises to the top, and what you have left is your cream, and it's already separated. Like I said, I did try that. In my personal opinion, this is just for my peace of mind, I felt like I could not clean that thing good enough to my satisfaction, because with milk, to get it to have a long shelf life and I mean, everything just has to be very clean. That's one reason people are so scared of raw milk, because it can harbor bacteria if not handled the right way. But so can raw chicken and beef and everything else. So anything raw can do that. But I could not get that spigot. I felt like I couldn't clean it good enough, because milk is kind of sticky, cream is kind of sticky, and you really got to do some scrubbing and stuff sometimes to get that residue off, because that residue can harbor bacteria. So, anyways, my little $2 ladle cleans up real nice and does just fine. So I just, like I said, I just prefer this way. Andy, he's outside fertilizing the pastures right now. We've got to grind some feed today. We like to throw some fertilizer out on the pastures because, well, it helps the pastures. And plus, with the amount of pasture space we have to use, it works out in our favor if we feed the land from what all these cows have took off of it. Look how thick that is. I love it. There's that. So what we're left with is skim milk. Sometimes I don't scrape every ounce of the cream off of it, so it does still have a little fat in it, but we still drink the skim milk. It's not bad. Honestly, it's not. I don't feel like it tastes watered down like the skim milk from the store, because I feel like skim milk from the store tastes like it's about half water, and it may be. I don't know. But anyways, I'll let this cream just kind of hang out here while I make my ice cream. It seems to work better if I let it warm up a little bit. Now, there are some days that I will scrape this cream in the first thing in the morning, and it'll sit here all day. It don't hurt a thing. And then there's sometimes, if I've got time to fool with it, I want it to at least sit here 20 or 30 minutes to warm up a little bit. It breaks into butter so much faster if you let it warm up a little bit. Now, to the ice cream. Alright, so if you've been around our channel for a while, you know that I am a self-proclaimed tightwad. But I occasionally treat myself on a rare occasion. Now, I could pinch a penny 10 different ways, but here, I guess it's been a couple years ago now, I bit the bullet and I bought myself a tabletop or a countertop ice cream maker, because I also am a lover of all things ice cream. So I seen this on Venison for Dinner. I have followed her forever and ever, amen. But I'll put more details about it. It's also on our website under our favorites. But it's got a condenser and everything in it. So there's no ice. There's no freezing bowls. There's no nothing like that. You literally pour your mixture in there and cut it on. And it's on a timer. It takes about an hour. And bam, you have got some good ice cream. Alright, so what I'm going to start off with for my ice cream is I need 4 egg yolks. This is probably considered more of a custard, but I mean, it's ice cream all the same to me. I'm just going to get these mixed up. The next thing we're going to need 4 cups of liquid. So you want to do about half heavy cream and half, I I'll use whole milk when I use it from the store. But what I do with my raw milk, I have found, and these pickle jars work great. I don't even know where I acquired these from, but I've acquired a couple through the years. Anyways, I just don't shake my raw milk. I just pour it in there till I get 4 cups, and that usually works out pretty good. So it's probably more cream than milk, but it's good. Now, everybody's favorite in this house is chocolate. So that's mostly what I make. I occasionally make vanilla, and I made some cookies and cream last year. That was pretty good. But everybody's always, Andy, Jacob, and Maggie are always so disappointed if I make anything other than chocolates. That's what I make 99.9% of the time. So I do my chocolate a little different though. I'm not using cocoa powder. I like to use chocolate chips. Whatever brand your heart desires, whatever you usually buy, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I pour them in my little pan here. Probably about a cup, and I've got a little bit of milk, just a little enough to carry to the bottom of my pot. I had somebody send me this as a gift. Thank you so much. This thing is awesome. So what it is, it's a grate for gas stoves because gas stoves are so hot. Put it over it like that. It's called a simmer grate. I've never heard of them, never knew they made such a thing. But this is awesome for doing stuff like this, or if you have something that you want to simmer, and it, because like especially like with my lard and stuff, this eye gets so hot. So thank you so much for that. Anyways, that thing is pretty sweet, and I'm gonna just let them chocolate chips start melting a little bit. In the meantime, let me get my eggs kind of combined in with my milk real quick. Now let's add about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Ever how sweet you want your ice cream. A good sprinkle of salt. Vanilla. About a couple of teaspoons. And that sugar will start dissolving in there. And you see the specks in it? That's from my vanilla. Now I will just very patiently wait on my chocolate. I like to let that get completely melted, but then no further than that because I don't want this super hot when I pour it in my mixture over here. This is the first thing, I mean, as soon as I started milking that cow, them youngins, they said, please, we gotta have some candy ice cream. That's what they call it, you know, Candy the cow. Candy's ice cream. We want some of Candy's ice cream. Perfect. So, you may say, Megan, why in this world do you choose to do chocolate chips versus cocoa? Oh, funny story. Y'all know how I just wing it most things in life. Well, the youngins and Andy, they wanted some chocolate ice cream. I can't pour it that way, y'all. I'm sorry. They wanted some chocolate ice cream, and I just so happened to be out of cocoa powder. And I said, Dad, burn it. I want some chocolate ice cream too. I done had my heart set on it. So I said, you know what? I got chocolate chips. I'm just going to melt them chocolate chips and still make chocolate ice cream. Well, that's all it took. Because what this does is, yes, it still turns your ice cream chocolate, but it's like chocolate chunk ice cream. So it's gonna have pieces like of chocolate in it, and oh my gosh. It's about the best thing since sliced bread, I'll tell you that. See those chocolate pieces floating in there? Oh man. And I just like to do it over here in this corner. It kind of keeps it out of my way while it's running. So then I just slowly pour that in there and try my best not to make a mess. Try my best. There we go. Alright, you can see the chocolate that has settled to the bottom. So I put that kind of on both sides of the paddles, I guess you would call it. There we go. So we're going to put the lid on that. Only got a few chocolate drops on everything. Put the lid on that. And got it on. And hit go. And we'll have ice cream in about an hour. Alright, now on to the butter. It may, usually it takes it a time or two. My puree button function, I think it goes like 60 or 90 seconds. I don't know, I ain't never counted it, but it, yeah. I'm gonna let it hammer down and we'll have butter here in just a little bit. And there it is. Butter and buttermilk. That butter should be pretty firm because that cream wasn't too cold. It had to go about 3 times and then that was all it took. So now I gotta rinse this off, throw some salt in it. I usually put this in ice water, but I got a million things to do today. So a little salt in it. That salt will draw a little more of that milk out. Watch. See that milk coming out? Whew. Take your finger out on it. That helps beat some more of that milk out of it. And then shape it. However how I want it shaped. Usually I do long, flattish rectangles because, well, it stores nicely in the freezer. There it is. Alright, y'all. Ice cream is done. So this thing goes into cooling mode. If you can't get to it just immediately, look at that. So let me see if I can get my bucket out of here. See my bucket of ice cream? So these are some ice cream containers that I found on Amazon. Of course, the links will be on our website. And TrueGritAppalachianWays.com. I try to keep listed on there things we use because we get lots of questions. If somebody's interested in using this kind of stuff, the ice cream maker and the containers both should be on there. Maybe. As you can see, it's pretty soft, but it'll harden up after it gets in the freezer. Container. So I usually get 1.5 of these containers from this recipe. There it is. We'll give it a taste test in just a second. Boy, I told y'all I'm good at making this. But you know, a lot of homemade ice creams, the texture gets kind of hard once you put it in the freezer. Some of the ones I've tried anyway. This one does not, though. The texture of this, once it's frozen, is like ice cream. Actually, the texture, to me, is a little better than store-bought ice cream. And no dessert is complete without a little taste test. It never gets old. Homemade ice cream it just never gets old. Well, now the real work begins. We gotta go grind some feed. Well, sometimes plans change. So, what are you after? So, y'all know that last summer, fall, we kept our 3 calves over at the neighbor's place. They were kind enough to let us use their pasture. So Andy's gone over here now to spread some fertilizer on that pasture. So we can hopefully put cows back over there again soon. Not all of them, 3 or 4 of them. That'll help give our pasture a break. That keeps them from having to bush hog this pasture over here. So it's a win-win situation, and luckily, the way the crow flies, it ain't too far from here. So me and Tiger are making our way over there. I like to watch, or like to get me a little walk in here and there when I can. I love to walk through the woods. That's probably one of my most favorite things to do, is to walk through the woods and walk around. Andy's planning on burning some wood sometime or another, ain't he? But I enjoy being in the woods, and I've been like that since I was a kid. Look at there. That right there's been since this morning, because I walked down through here this morning and them deer tracks wasn't there. Ain't that something? It's 2 different ones.
I gotta tell you something.
What?
You know, I didn't want to run that Kubota over here because it's small. I was scared to get on that hill. I was going to use the John Deere since it'd been so long since I run that tractor. And I got on it and it wouldn't crank. It just spin and spin and spin. So it's like something wasn't working right. And anyways, you know Jacob messed with all them fuses.
Yeah.
Jacob reminded me a while ago that he pulled the fuses out of that tractor and said that's what was wrong with it. So now I got to go figure out what fuse is supposed to go back where.
Oh gosh.
But Megan knows what I'm talking about. Backstory for y'all. One day I come in and Jacob was just absolutely squalling. I didn't know what had happened. I thought somebody had got hurt. I didn't know what was going on. And I started panicking. I asked him, I said, what in the world is wrong, Jacob? And he said, Daddy, you're going to be so mad at me. I mean, he's just losing his mind. Well, come to find out, the boy thought he'd pull a prank on me and pull all of my fuses out of that John Deere tractor because currently the fuse panel is exposed. And the panel's gone. And
then he realized it was not a good idea.
Yeah, then it hit him that it probably wasn't a good idea because he didn't know where any of them went back. He didn't know the spots they went back into. So he just randomly stuck fuses back in there. And well, a while ago, I didn't think a thing about it. And when I went to crank the tractor and nothing would happen. And so I'm assuming my tractor set too long and something's wrong with it. Jacob heard me talking about it and he said, oh, Daddy, the fuses. And I was like, son, I'd have never figured it out if you hadn't have said that. So I am almost certain that that's what was wrong with that tractor. I just didn't have time to dig into it a while ago. But I don't know what I'm going to do with that boy. He loves to play pranks on us like that. And he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
His favorite prank is to turn the excavator into a backhoe.
Yeah, the excavator has got where you can switch it from backhoe mode to excavator mode. I know some of y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about, but anybody that's been on a mini excavator knows. He absolutely loves to go and switch that thing to backhoe mode, and so when I get on it, it's like I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't even run that thing. But anyways, yeah, I got a little prankster on my hands. Can I please go sit down on the porch for a minute and have a swallow of water or something?
Not yet.
Can I have a break?
No.
Please? That's all I'm asking, 5 minutes.
I guess.
One glass of water in 5 minutes is what I'm asking for.
Me and Andy were just talking about it. You know, the milk cow is all well and fun, and it's fun to make butter, and you see me make the ice cream. I tell you what, I don't feel bad about eating that ice cream. Because, boy, we had to work hard for it. All this right here we've done was for the cows. All that fertilizer, that's for the cows.
Planting all this corn for the cows.
Y'all hear that?
Everything we do is for the cows.
Look, they're looking, they're listening. Y'all hear that? Y'all realize how lucky you are? Huh? Yeah, all for you.
Sorry, creatures.
Oh, they ain't sorry.
Chuck says if you need a little stress in your life, get you some cows, but you just said it's the exact opposite, right?
That's right. I stand out here and watch them for a while, chew their cud, and I feel a whole lot better.
Even though it's all that work. All that work for just a tad bit of stress relief.
That's right.
I'm not sure it's worth it.
Think about them horses, how much work they are for just a little.
Yeah, we won't even go there.
Look at him, he's pitiful.
We won't even go there. That's another subject for another day.
Speaking of the horses, I need somewhere to hang my blankets, or at least
You really ain't gonna let me go get me a drink of water, are you?
At least lay them back up here.
You gonna work me to death? Gosh.
A lot to do.
I know it is. Pretty weather will kill a man.
I love it. Bring it on.
Bring it on. So, I'm going to take a little bit of pressure off my son. It was not Jacob's fault that this tractor wasn't cranked. Turns out he did put all the fuses back where it was supposed to go. What happened was apparently I've got a leak on my fuel filter and all the fuel had drained out. And so pretty much the fuel system had lost prime and I wasn't getting any fuel. So I'm going to spray that filter off real quick with some brake cleaner and just get it cleaned up so I can hopefully see where it's leaking. It's about time to service it again anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it, but it does make me feel a little bit better knowing it wasn't Jacob's fault. It's kind of crazy to think that I hadn't hardly used this tractor at all since hay season last year. That's very unusual for me. But I really hadn't had much reason to use it. I'll let all that dry off and maybe I can see where the leak's coming from. It didn't look bad. It was just, I guess it had just a little bit of a leak and it set long enough that it had drained that filter out. But since it's running and I hadn't used it in quite some time, I think I'll let it stretch its legs a little bit. I'm gonna pull a manure spreader with it and I'm gonna go down here and turn all the cows back out of the sacrifice pasture we got here, turn them back out into this pasture, get all this manure up, put in the spreader, slung out, hopefully all that before dark. We have got a small chance of rain tomorrow and I would love to get all that done before that chance of rain gets here. I'm not going to feed anything until I get done because I want to be able to get the cows back up in there, because the little pasture I'm going to be turning them into right there, me and Jacob spread out some more grass seed and some clover seed on it the other day and then drug it down, and I really don't want to turn the cows loose on it for too awful long, but I'll leave them on there long enough to get them out of my way. Y'all are about to be turned free for a little bit. I know you're happy about that. I know y'all are probably wondering why in the world I ain't fed you yet. I promise you'll get fed shortly. Watch out, Cookie. Run, run, run. Run free, girls. Come on. Run. Y'all ain't gonna come out, are you? I'll give them a minute to figure out they can get out. And the reason I want them out of there is because I definitely don't want them on this part of the pasture behind me. Now I know to most people it looks like there's some nice green grass out there they could be grazing on. And you're right, but I don't want them grazing on it just yet. I'm not ready to turn these cows onto that grass. Like, I need this to grow. I want it to be at least ankle deep before I turn cows out on this. So, what's gonna happen is once all the cows go out, I'm not too worried about them horses up there. If the horses get down here on this part of the pasture, they're easy to get back. If them cows get down here on this part of the pasture, well, that's a different story. Getting them off of that nice green grass is gonna be hard. But once the cows go out, I'm gonna switch this wire around to up here, and then I can get in and out with the tractor to scoop all this mess up. You see the cows have actually walked it down a good bit, but scoop all that up, put it in manure spreader, and sling it out on this pasture. Y'all the only ones left. Come on. Run out. Come on. Come on. Go out of here. Get out of here. There you go. Now, we'll switch this wire to this post, and they can't get back in. Yep. See the little light in the back end? Throw it all on your tractor, Andy. So these levers here are what put this thing in and out of gear. I've already got it in gear. I think the first test run I'm gonna do is hit this area right here. This is somewhat of a poor area anyways. So let's see how it's gonna work. I got in too big a hurry and left the dang gate open, y'all. Luckily, they're all trained to a bucket. Come on. We got a loner up here. Come on, get back in that fence. Come on. Thank goodness. That scared me to death when I seen them cows heading for that gate. Let's make sure I shut it this time.
So, what happened?
I got in a hurry. I'm trying to beat daylight, beat dark.
Where were they at?
They were in this pasture right here, but
Why was the gate open?
I come in this gate and forgot to shut it.
Well, that's usually what happens.
That's what happens when you're in a hurry trying to video and hoping you can beat the dark. Sometimes I think you're better off just to stop.
You want to know why I feed my cows?
Yeah, thank goodness they know what a bucket is.
They know what a Sioux cow is, and they know what a bucket is.
Absolutely. Well, I get that pile done there. I mean, it's probably going to be close to dark when I get done, but...
Well, supper's almost ready.
Well, just call me when it's ready.
Okay.
I'll come on in and eat.
All right. Well, the day is about finished, and it's been a busy one. Spring always is, but that's all right. It's a welcome busy, I feel like, and I've enjoyed every second of it. I don't know about Andy, but...
Oh, I've enjoyed it. I had some things this evening didn't go quite as planned, but...
that happens.
It happens. It happens. We didn't get done spreading the manure. I think I got 4 loads out, and yeah, anyways. That's another story for another day.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope y'all learned a little something. We appreciate you watching today and appreciate each and every one of you. Till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all keep some fingers crossed we get some rain like we're supposed to, because we're going to have some beautiful green grass if we do.
That's right.
And we'll see y'all on the next one.
So, y'all have a good one.
See ya.